Let's discuss regarding clipboard today. Today we'll discuss regarding clipboard, and if possible, let's discuss regarding properties also. How to create a property and what are the types of properties. Okay. Clipboard. Clipboard acts as an interface between your UI screen. There is an UI, right? You have an UI screen. What is an UI? When you are working in any application, the portal which you are working is called a UI, the user interface. Okay. Uh, Clipboard will act as an interface between UI and your database. Suppose if you have your application, that is your screen, and you will be having clipboard in between, clipboard, and you'll be having DB, database. Now, whatever the data you are entering on a screen, okay, whatever the data the user is entering on the screen, that data will be present on clipboard. And from clipboard, the data will get persisted into the database. Okay, here you just understand, like clipboard acts as an intermediator, or a clipboard acts as an interface which will store the temporary data. Like it contains both temporary and permanent data. The data will be persisted into the database only if it is present on a clipboard. If suppose the data is not present on a clipboard, the data will not get stored on a database. Okay, and also when you're fetching or when you're browsing the data, when you're fetching or browsing the data, what happens from the database? The data must be first captured on a clipboard. And this data has to be shown on a screen. Okay, if suppose you have any defect, like if suppose some value is missing for a property or in a table, then first what you have to do, you have to verify whether the data is present on a clipboard or not. If the data is not present on a clipboard, you cannot show the data on screen. Okay, I think you have got a basic idea, right? What is a clipboard? Yeah, like let me repeat it once again. The clipboard acts as an interface between your UI and your database. Whatever the data you are entering on your UI, that data will be first stored on a clipboard as a temporary memory, and then it will be persisted into database. Similarly, when you are loading a screen or when you are browsing or fetching any data, first the data which is present on a DB will be stored onto a clipboard. It may be a single record or it may be a list of records. Okay, it will be stored onto a clipboard, and from clipboard it will be loaded onto your screen. Okay, so the data cannot directly show from a DB to screen. It has to be stored on a clipboard first of all, and then it will actually shown on a screen. Okay, let me show you the clipboard, how actually clipboard looks like. Okay, let me open up a clipboard. In the bottom, you will be having a clipboard here. If you click on that, this is a clipboard. Okay. See, if you saw a clipboard here, in clipboard, what you will be having? You will be having a threads. You will be having threads. You have to be in a proper thread to see the data. If suppose, if you click on a thread, see how many threads you have. You have these threads. These are the threads which you are opening it here in the background. See, you have opened a property instances here. The property thread came here. There's a property thread. Okay, like that, whatever the instances or whatever the things you are opening in the background, those many threads will be formed here. Those many threads will be formed here. Okay, let me create a case. Let me create a case and see how actually the data is present on a clipboard and all. Let me launch a portal. This is a Gogoroad application which Pega has provided. We haven't created any application. This is a Pega which Pega has provided for educational purpose. this application basically is what does this application does is like whenever if your vehicle has been any breakdown, like due to some flat tire or due to some engine problem, you will raise a service request to customer care or some roadside assistance, right? That is this assistance application. Okay, I was just trying to create one case. Okay, now what we have done as a user, we have created a case. Okay, now the information which user has provided, okay, that information has to be stored in the background, right? That information has to be stored on a background. See what is a case ID? This is the case ID. You can see here on the top the case ID A dash 1001. This is a case ID, and a case ID is a unique ID. Okay, for each and every it is actually similar to your Amazon. If you placed any order, it would be similar to your order ID. Okay, it is a unique identifier, case ID. Let us see in the clipboard how the data is being stored. If I open a clipboard from here, okay, it will open this particular thread. Okay, let's see the difference. If I open the clipboard from here, it will open a thread of A1001 because we are on a context of here. You can see on the background, we are opening from here. So it has opened this particular thread. Okay. If suppose I have opened the same clipboard from here, okay, on which context we are on property construct, we are on property context thread, right? So if you open a clipboard from here, it will open a property. It will open a property. Okay, so what we have to do from where you can actually open from anywhere, but if you want to see any related information, you have to switch the thread. Okay, you can see here we have our A-1001 also. You have to switch your thread. If you switch your thread, you will get this particular case related information. Now this is how clipboard looks like. Now the case related information, okay, all the case related information will be present on a page. See, in clipboard everything is called a pages. Okay, generally we have 4 types of pages. We'll discuss regarding this. We have 4 types of pages. Okay, if I expand the user pages, see, everything in a clipboard is called a page. Okay, this is called a page. If you click on that, you can see the data here. Okay, this is called a page. See, everything in clipboard is called a page. Okay, page contains properties. This is a property. Okay, this is a page. The name of the page is declare underscore case tree, and the page contains a property. Property holds a value. Value is nothing but a data. Okay, let me write it down. Clipboard contains pages. Okay, pages contains properties. Properties holds the data. Okay, these 3 points you can easily visualize, right? If you open a clipboard contains so many pages on the left side. These are all the pages. Okay, now if you click on each page, you will be having a properties. Suppose if I have opened this page, this is a code Pega list, you have to expand this. This is a list of pages. So that's why you have a the embedded list here. This is called a page list, and it holds a list of records. Okay, if you click on, if you have expanded this one, you can see you have a list of records here. Some properties are there, and for some properties some values are associated with. Okay, you can see this is the page name. This is the page name. If I click on any other page, let's see, if suppose this is also code Pega list. If I click on this PY portal page, see this PY portal page, this is a clipboard page. This page has properties, and this properties holds a value. See, we have three types of properties. That's one that two we'll discuss. Like we have PX, PY, and PZ properties. Okay, PX properties are like we can only read the data. We can read the data. We cannot actually write the data into it. Okay. PY properties are like we can both read and write. Read and write in the sense we can modify the data. Okay, we can actually read what the data is present in it, and we can also modify that data. Okay. PZ properties are like it is for Pega's internal process. Pega uses those properties for internal processing. Okay, let me show you the example. Suppose we have a PX. Let me open any PX property. See, you have a PX create operator. Okay, what is a PX create operator? The operator who has created the case. I have logged in as an author. So the PX create operator name has came as an author. Okay, this value, I cannot modify this value. You can only read the value. Like read the value means you cannot change this author to something like ABC like that. You cannot modify. Like you cannot write the value. You can only read. Okay, if suppose you have a PY label here, PY label. This PY label you can modify. You can modify the value in using some rules. You can modify the data present in this PY label. Okay, and you have PZ also. You can see PZ also. PZ. See, there are some PZ properties also. In the below, you can see that PZ has web analytics. These PZ properties will be used for Pega internal processing. Mostly, we will not use all the PZ properties. We'll only use very few PZ properties. We'll use some PZ properties like PZ dynasty will be there. That is an important PZ properties which we will use. PZ dynasty. Okay, PX, PY, and PZ. Okay, we'll see when we have discussed regarding our property concepts, then we'll see these types of properties. Okay. Now, all your case related information. Okay, see, clipboard contains so many pages. Okay, all your case related information will be present in a page called PY work page. This is an important page where you can see all your case related information. You remember the name is PY work page. Let me write it down here. PY work page holds all your case related info. Okay. Now let me show you. If I switch the thread, okay, if I switch the thread, if I switch the thread to any other one, if I switch the thread to property, you cannot find the PY work page here. You cannot find the PY work page here because this is not a case related information. The property which the thread which you have opened is something different. This is not your case. So PY work page will only present on your case related data, like it is only present on your case related thread. If I switch it to this thread, if I come down, you can see there is a PY work page. Okay, if you click on PY work page, you can see these are all your case related information. You can see our case ID also. And if you expand the PY work page, it contains so many internal pages. These are called embedded pages. Okay, whatever the pages that is present inside one page, those pages are called embedded pages. Okay, you can see we have a PY work page and we have PY ID. PY ID is a case ID. Okay, PY ID is a property which holds a case ID. PY, you see the name, it's PY, right? PY in the sense you can modify the case ID as you want. Like it must be a unique value. but you can modify. Pega has given a privilege that you can modify the data. Okay, you can see you have given a PY ID, and if you click on customer ID, see when I was creating a case, okay, when I have creating a case, I have selected a customer name as Thomas. So the data which I have selected on screen, the data is present on a clipboard, right? You understand what I'm trying to say? See, I have selected MasterCard while creating a case. So the card type has came as MasterCard. See, in vehicle information, what I have selected a vehicle type as a Hyundai and vehicle make as an 2020 and all, right? Let's see whether the data is present or not. See, vehicle color, make, model, everything is present on the clipboard. You understand, right? What I have told you here, whatever the data you are entering on screen, what are the data you are entering on the screen, the data will first come into a clipboard and then it will get stored onto a database. That's what I'm trying to show here. Whatever the data I have entered on screen, the data is present on a clipboard here on pages. Okay, these are all the pages. Vehicle information is a page. On that page, we have a properties called these properties, color, make, model, and these are the data. Now you understand the PY work page. Right? PY work page is a page which holds all our case related information. Okay. Now let's discuss the types of pages. We have 4 types of pages here. This is an interview question. Okay. We have 4. What are the types of pages in a clipboard? Interview question. Note it down. We have 4 types of pages: user pages, data pages, linked property page, system pages. First, let's discuss regarding user pages and system pages. And going forward, we'll discuss about remaining other 2. Okay, user pages are like that in, if you expand the user pages, the data that is present in a user pages is related to the user information and the case information. Like user information in the sense that is related to the case information. If you speak pinpointedly, the data that is present under user pages category is related to case information. Okay, you can see inside the user pages only you have this PY work page which has a case related data. All the data that is present under user pages is related to your case. Okay, it is actually helpful for your case processing. If you want to process your case, all the data will be stored under user pages. Okay, and you have system pages. System pages holds the data of system related pages. System related pages in the sense the node, the server on which it is hosting, what is the database it is pointed to, and which operator has been logged into this to this portal. All the system related data will be present under system pages. If you expand the system pages, you can see there is a page called operator ID. There is a page called operator ID. I have logged in as an author. My operator ID name is author. If we click on this operator ID page, you can see here what is my, there will be PY user ID. There will be one property PY user identity. See what is my operator name? By using which email address I have logged in. I have logged in with this email address. And what is my username? My username is author. Okay, and you can see the server node related details also that will be present on requester, I guess. PX requester. See, you can see the agent. There will be so much data that is actually related to the backend, like backend in this is that will be related to your server. Okay, those details are not necessary for you at this point of time, but you can actually visualize all the data related to your system under system pages. Okay, you can see what is a node, what is a requester ID. Requester ID in the sense who is actually requesting the session. This is a particular session, right? These authentication details and all, those are currently not much useful for you. Let's focus on the remaining other parts. But actually you have understood the basic difference, right? What is the difference between user pages and system pages?
Yes.
Yeah, user pages holds your case related information. System pages holds your information that is related to your server, your authentications, the operator ID who has logged in. It has the system related data. Okay. You can see here security snapshot also. These are all something called security related, the authentication related, because all the clients are much focused on security part, because the Pega will be mainly used on banking sector, banking, insurance and healthcare sector. So banking sector is much focused on security part. So all the authentications, all the security related information also you can find in system pages. Okay. If you have configured any SSO, or if you have configured any authentication profiles, those authentication related things also you can find it in the system pages. Okay. And remaining two pages, the data pages and linked property pages, will not discuss now. In coming sessions while discussing regarding data pages, we'll see. Okay. Do you have got a basic idea on clipboard? What is a clipboard? How to open a clipboard? How to change a thread here? If you keep a particular thread only, you can visualize the correct data. If you are in a wrong thread, you cannot see the exact information. You have to look into the thread, and the case related data will be present on PY work page. Okay, you can expand a PY work page and you can see. If I think you both guys are working in an application, right? Whenever the session is done, you try to create a case in your application and open a PY work page and see all the case related information. There will be so many pages. This is a small application, so it has only customer ID, vehicle information, payment information. Few pages only it has, but generally applications will be having a lot more pages, like a lot more individual pages inside a PY work page. You just go through your application today, open your PY work page and see and understand how actually the data is present on a clipboard. Yeah, let's discuss regarding a properties. These are all the properties, right? Now, how to create a property, what are the types of properties we have, and how actually we can manipulate the data in a properties. Okay, we'll discuss regarding properties now. You take a note, this is an interview question, types of pages in a clipboard, 4 pages. Okay, you can take a screenshot also if you want. Okay, next thing, let me open a property. Let me try to create one property so that you can understand. See, you can go to records here. Records, properties will be present under data model. Okay, property will be present under this data model. Here we have a data model. If you expand this data model, you have a property inside it. If you click on this property, it will open all the instances of a property. These are called instances. Instances means list of properties that is present in this entire application. Okay, you can see, you have see how many pages it has. 796 pages. Each page holds 50 records, so those many properties are present in inside this application. Okay, now I'm trying to create a new property. How to create a new property? You can see you have a create button on the top here, top right corner. You have a create button here. If I click on create button, it will actually open a new rule form. This is called a rule form. It is saying here on the top, you can see it is saying we are creating a property. Okay, we are creating a property. And what property we are creating, we need to give a label here. Suppose we are creating a property called full name. You give here, it's like a full name. You can give it like this, full name. How actually Pega indentation follows is like first letters must be capital. Like in full F must be capital and in name N must be capital. That is an standard practice which we are using in Pega. Okay, full name we are creating and the class. Okay, now we have to discuss regarding class. What is a class? If you see in a clipboard, each and every page is associated with a class. If you click on PY work page, you can see here in braces you have, right, go road work assistance request. This is a class of a page. Okay, if we search for px obj class, that is a property which holds a class. You can see px obj class. You just remember, you have to remember the property names in clipboard. You have let me note it down. You have a properties like PYID, okay, PYID, which holds case ID, okay, which holds case ID, and you have PXOBJ class, PXOBJ class, okay, PXOBJ class, which holds a class related, which holds the name of a class, okay. PXOBJ class is a property which actually holds a class of a page, okay. This is a class. Now let me tell you what is a class first. Okay, for time being, you just assume class is equal to database table. Class is equal to database table. Okay, for time being, you just assume class is equal to database table. Why class is equal to database table? Let me tell you. If you open any class, how to open a class? This is called an app explorer. If you click on app explorer, you will get here the search box and you will get a default work class here. By default, you will get a work class here. Now you just right click on this work class, right click on the work class. Okay, you will have a definition here. If you open a definition, this class will get opened. Okay, the class will get opened. See, for every rule, you can see on the top the rule category. What is this? This is a class rule, and this is a class, and this is how a class looks like. If you come down, you have here one button called test connection, right? Test connection to database table. If you click on this test connection, what happens? It will show you the table to which this class is mapped to. You can see class Gogoroad work. This is a class is mapped to the table. What is a table name? Table name is this one. Table name is this one. In Pega data, this is a database. Okay, Pega data is a database, and this is a table name. Inside the database, this is a table name. Okay. Now, whatever the properties you are creating inside this class, all the properties will be stored inside this table. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? Whatever the properties you are creating in this class, those properties will be stored under this table. In the backend, how it will actually work is like whatever the data you are creating, whatever the properties you are creating, those properties will be stored inside this table. Okay. Now, in clipboard, you saw the PY work page is associated with this class, right? Means the data that is present on a PY work page is coming from a table that is mapped to this class. Now let's continue with the property creation. Why I'm telling you the class here is like, because here you need to give your class here. Applies to, you have to give your class here. That's why I'm discussing the class related concept here. So now you are creating a property. Property name is full name. Now to what class it has to be mapped? What class it has to map it in the sense to what table it has to store. Okay, to what table this property has to be stored. Okay, now I'm actually giving up my work class here. What is my work class? My work class is this one, work assistance request. This is in work layer. You can see this is a work layer. Gogo is an organization. Gogoroad is a division. Work and assistance request. Assistance request is your case type. Okay, assistance request is your case. I'm giving my work assistance request here. This is a rule set. I will tell you what is a rule set, and this is a rule set version. You just remember this is a rule set and this is a rule set version. I'll tell you what is a rule set and rule set version. Now I'm creating a property. Okay, create. If you click on create and open, it will create a property, but it will not get saved. Okay, it will not get saved. See on the top, it is still showing as new only. It is still showing as new. Now you have to determine, you have created a full name property. You have to determine this full name property. If you click on this change here, you can see property types. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay. If you click on change here, you can see the property types here. Okay, date time, decimal, double, identifier, integer, password, text encrypted, time of the true or false. Okay, generally what is the value for a name? Generally a name is a text, right? Name is a text, so you will keep text here and you will save it. If you are creating any date time properties, if you are creating any date properties like birthday or date of joining or date of relieving, you will create that property as a date here. Okay, if you are creating any integer or double, you will keep those things as an integer or double. This is similar to Java. How actually we will do in Java, we will write a string ABC or something like that, right? ABC is a property. Similarly, the property, when after you created a property, you need to determine a type of a property. What is the type? Whether it's a text property, decimal property, double property, we have to determine these things here. You understand, right? And we'll discuss this page list. These two will be discussing. These two are important page modes. These are called page modes. Page and page list will be discussing, but for now you have understand these things, right? Single value properties. What is it? Now I am selecting this one as a text property. I'm selecting this one as text property and I'm saving this one. Now what happens if I save this one? You cannot modify the property type again. If you want to modify the property type again, you have to delete this one and you have to recreate the property. Okay, now if I click on save, this change will get disappeared and this new will be converted to full name. Okay, if I click on save here, see it has become full name and this change will get removed. See, there is no change here. Okay, if you want to change the property type now, what you have to do, you have to delete it and you have to recreate the property. Yeah, how to create a property? Go to your records and you expand the data model. You click on property. You will open this property instances. On the top, you have a create. Okay, or else you can also create from here. Go to App Explorer. Open your class. In which class you are going to create, open that class. Suppose if I want to create in this particular class, you open this particular class here. You right click here. What happened? Yeah, if you right click here, you have a create here. Create, you hover on create, you hover on data model. Similarly, in data model, you have a property. If you are creating like this, okay, if you are creating like this, what happens? You are already present in particular class, right? So the class will come as this class by default. See, the class has already came. You need not give a class here if you're creating like this. Or if you're creating from records, you have to give a class here. Whenever you're creating a property, it will be a default class, rule obj property. You have to give your own class. Okay, here. Class you have to mention. You understand it? Two types of, we can create a, see, not only a property, any rule. So you can either create from here, from the particular class, or else you can create from a records also. And next we'll discuss regarding the property modes. We have a single page and a page list, right? Today we'll discuss single page and tomorrow we'll discuss regarding page list, because if you discuss two at a time, you'll get confused. First of all, let's discuss regarding a single page. Let me create one more property. One more property called something current location. Okay, current location, and the class is something which is my assistance work class. Click on create and open. Now let's see what are the parameters it is asking for when I select a single page. If I select the single page, what it is asking for page definition. It is asking for page definition. Now you can see the star mark here. Whenever a field is having a star mark, that is a required field. Okay, it is asking for a page definition. What is a page definition? And first of all, what is a single page? Let's discuss what is a single page, and then we'll discuss how to configure a single page. Okay, If suppose you are retrieving a data from a database which is having a only single record, you understand what is a single record? Let me open an Excel. If you open an Excel, suppose let's think there is a database table. There is a database table of employee information. The table name is employee information. It contains a columns like employee ID, employee name, employee experience. Okay, this table holds a data like employee ID 1, ABC, employee experience is 2 years, is 2, XYZ, employee 3 years, something like 4, PQR, employee experience is some 10 years. Okay, this is a data that is present in a database, and this is the data that is present in a database. Okay, these are the records. Okay, these are the records. Now what happens if you want to fetch a single record? What is meant by single record? If you want to fetch the employee ID with 1, because employee ID is a unique column, employee ID is a unique column, so this is called a key. This is a key. Key in the sense this is a unique column in a table. Okay, this is a key. That employee ID cannot be duplicated. The meaning of a key is the employee ID cannot be duplicated. Okay. Now, if you want to fetch a record, single record means if you want to fetch this particular employee which has experience, which has employee ID as 1. Okay. Now, what happens? This single record will be held by this single page. Okay. Single page holds a single records only. If you see single page holds single record. If I open a clipboard, this vehicle information is called a single page. Okay, it holds only one vehicle data. Okay, this is how the structure of a single page will be there. PY work page. Inside PY work page, you have vehicle information. This is a single page. If you expand this PY, if you expand the vehicle information also, nothing will be there. If you click on vehicle information also, nothing will be there. And similarly, the customer ID. If you expand the customer ID, there is no pages inside a customer ID, and the customer ID is a single page. Okay, customer ID is a single page. If you click on this payment information, see payment information also, you don't have any other properties. You don't have any other embedded pages. Okay, this payment information is also a single page. What is a single page? Single page holds a single record. Single record means either any one of these 3 records. It will hold only one record at a given point of time. Okay, you understand what is a single page?
Yes, Suman.
And you have a page list. Page list also I will explain. Okay, page list. What is a page list? Page list holds a list of records. Okay, if you want to fetch all the employee details, okay, then in an organization there will be so many employees, right? If you want to fetch all the employee details who has experience greater than 1 year, then how many records will come from this table? You will get 3 records from this table, because all the 3 employees has experience greater than 1 year. You will get 3 records in an when you're browsing the data, you will get 3 records. Now, how do you store these 3 records in a clipboard? Okay, you will use page list property. Page list in the sense it will hold a multiple records. It will hold a list of records. How page list will be shown in a clipboard? There must be some structure, right? There must be some structure to store the data. How actually it will store is, you will be having something called code Pega list. Let me search for code Pega list. See, this is a page list page. Okay, this is the page which is having a list of records. PX results is a list of records. If you expand PX results, here you have one. This is PZ. You never open this PZ pages. These are all for Pega internal processing. Not much important data will be stored on those pages. You have here report pages. Code Pega list declare. Yeah, you can see See, you have px results of 1, right? Like this, the page, if you saw the page structure, declare underscore app explore data dot px result of 1 means this is a px result of 1 is a first record information. Similarly, you will be having px result of 2, px result of 3, px result of 4. Means how many px results are there, those many records are there. You understand how the clipboard structure will be there? It will be denoted with this px results of 1, of 1, of 2, of 3. Okay, let me show you if any other code pega list is there. Code pega list indicates it's a page list. Okay, this is not a page. Here, this a paged pages are not much useful. See, you can see this page list d underscore branch explorer. This is some page list that is used by Pega internal processing. Okay, this is a pged will not use in our case processing, but just to show to you, I am actually using this one. You can see we have 3 records here, means it is fetching, it has 3 record values. You can see all the pages hold same properties, all the 3 pages hold same properties, but the data is different. You understand it? What is a page list and what is a single page?
Yes.
How actually single
Yes,
page holds
Suman.
a single record, page list holds a multiple records. You can take a screenshots how actually this looks like. Page list look like in a clipboard. Page list looks, it will be mapped to code pega list class, and you have a px results inside it. Okay, and if you go through the single page, how single pages looks like. Single pages looks like the vehicle info. You have a PV work page here, right? Yeah, if you open expand PV work page, these are the single pages. It actually doesn't have PX results page. It will be directly, the data will be directly shown on here itself. A configuration will look into that. Configuration will actually look into the configuration while developing an application. I'll tell you what is a page definition and all. Okay, configuration I will discuss, but the definitions you understand it. Single page, page list.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, yes, Suman.
for page list also it will ask for a page definition. Page list also it will ask for a page definition. Okay, I'll tell you while developing what is a page definition and how we should efficiently use it. And page group also asks for a page definition, but page group is different. Page group will not much use. We'll mostly using single page and page list only. Okay, single page and page list. Okay. Let's have a short recap what we have discussed today. We have discussed regarding clipboard. Clipboard acts as an interface between your screen and the database. Whenever you are giving any data on your UI screen is nothing but a portal here. If you are giving any data here, the data will be first stored into clipboard, and from clipboard it will get persisted into database. Okay. Similarly, when you are fetching any data from a database, the data first will be stored onto your clipboard and the data will be shown up on the screen. Okay, after that what we have discussed a property, we have discussed the property types and how to create a property and a class. What is a class? Class is nothing but a database table. Why I am saying like that is like every class, every concrete class. Okay, we have 2 types of classes. One is concrete, one is abstract. Abstract, we actually no need of concentrating on abstract. Abstract is a Pega internal classes, but all the concrete classes will be mapped to a table. All the concrete classes will be mapped to a table. So whatever the properties you are creating, okay, whatever the properties or whatever the rules you are creating in a particular class, those will be stored in a particular table. Okay, that particular table. Okay, that is a class. Okay, and then we have discussed regarding creation of property, how to create a property, and then we have saw what are the different types of properties, like different types in the sense integer, decimal, double, or text or password, or encrypted, text encrypted, whatever the type you want, you can make based on the property. And then we have a modes of a property. What are the modes of a property? Single page and a page list. What does single page do? Single page holds a single record, like it will hold only one record of data, And what is a page list? Page list holds a multiple records. If you go and visualize the table here, single record holds this only this data. Like it holds employee ID, employee name, and employee experience. But it will hold for only one record. That's a single page. If it is a page list, it will hold all the table related information. All the table in the sense it will hold a list of records. You have to remember, like it will hold a list of records. And for every table there will be a key. Key is nothing but a unique property in a table. Okay, key will be a unique property in a table. Key can be a combination of properties also. Key can be a combination of these two properties also. These two can be also unique, a combination of these two. Okay, key is nothing but a unique value in a table. Okay, for this table, what is a unique value? Employee ID. Because in actually in general terms, the employee ID cannot be duplicated, right? Same employee doesn't have same like two employees doesn't have a same employee ID. So we can consider employee ID as a key for this table. Okay, whenever you are actually fetching or browsing a data, you have to use a key. Based on a key, you have to fetch the data. Let's stop here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining. Have a nice day.